Wagons, and I've got some fun patriotic decor ideas to share with you today. So these are all items that I've been collecting from Goodwills or other thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales throughout the years, and it's fun to get to pull them out once a year, and I had a lot of fun coming up with some different ideas of things that might be good items for holiday decor. So obviously some of the things are kind of one-of-a-kind items, but you can always find similar things, and hopefully you'll find some inspiration in today's video about things that you can look for the next time you're out thrifting. So let's get started. The first thing is very obvious, and obviously this is patriotic decor from an American perspective, and you couldn't really do that without the American flag. So you'll see lots of examples of that in the things that I have to share. I've got little bouquets of flags. Anytime I see an American flag, one of these little kind of decorative ones, I always grab it, and they're really handy to kind of stick into flower pots or other kinds of arrangements. So never pass up a flag for your holiday decor, and they roll up really nicely and store very nicely so they don't take up a lot of room. The other thing I want to point out are fun flags in kind of different formats. This one is a flag fan. Love this, especially on a hot 4th of July day. So that's a great example of a flag item that's kind of easy to, well, not easy to find because I've only ever found the one of them. I'm sure you could probably order something similar, but definitely easy to use and find uses for. All right, so next up on our list of fabulous 4th of July decor is anything red, white, and blue. That's obviously going to be a theme throughout, but there's really cool things you may not even think of as holiday decor that work really well when you combine them in the color of a given holiday. So in the case of the 4th of July or Independence Day here in the US, red, white, and blue is kind of the theme of the day. So one of the things I really like are vintage tins and vases and things that you can stick flowers down into. You can get a collection of those going in red, white, and blue, and those are going to look great as part of your 4th of July decor. So I get bandanas in red, white, and blue because those are fun to tie on to different things or lay down on a table. So those are kind of fun and festive as well. So that's a super simple way to make use of red, white, and blue items. So that was a couple blue ones, and here we've got a really fun red one, also making use of a bandana and a flag. Lanterns in general I think are really cute on the 4th of July. I've got the number blocks. I try to grab those when I find them because those are fun. If you do Christmas, you can do 25, 14 for Valentine's Day. I've got 04 for the 4th of July today, and they happen to be blue and white, so that was an added bonus of those. Blocks that have a red side, especially the old vintage blocks, I love those, and sometimes you can find the ones that have stripes on them or other things that relate to a patriotic theme. So it's a fun little there. Anyway, blocks. Extra bonus points if you can spell out something like USA or America or something like that. Speaking of spelling things out, I love the Scrabble tiles for spelling out different words. So you can put like Go USA, or this one says America, and so those are really handy things that are things I often will thrift. Another simple one are ribbons, so either like award ribbons or just other ribbons that I find. The ribbons that come on medals, I often find people have discarded or thrown out medals that they got from youth sports, and those are often great because they're red, white, and blue, or just kind of fancier ribbon that you would use for different things. And every now and then I stumble upon something that's just really cute and kitschy, so like this elastic red, white, and blue. I guess I'd put it in the ribbon category, that's what I store it with, but it's not quite ribbon. More bandanas like I mentioned before. Anything with a star or stripe kind of pattern in red and white and blue is always fun as a 4th of July decor item. So here's a fun little kitty cat with stripes, so he's perfect. Here's another toy item. I've got lots and lots of little red wagons. Those are great as big or small items to set on a counter or maybe out on a front porch or back patio. So vintage toys that are red, white, and blue, including old red wagons, are perfect. And then, let's see, playing cards. So again, just something you can set out on a table. I often find playing card sets that are in red, white, and blue. Different boxes, and I'll have a few more examples of those here in a minute, but this one is just a gummed label box, but it's kind of patriotic, and I think maybe setting in amongst things, maybe on a desk, it would look really cute. This is a dry cleaning advertisement that's in red, white, and blue, so something you can set off to the side. Things like maps. Every now and then I'll find maps that have cool colors. I also think that things that relate to the states are kind of fun and cool. You know, so if you're celebrating the 4th of July, you're celebrating the United States of America, and so it could be fun to put some state-themed things in there. I always grab these toothpicks when I find them, because these are great for cupcakes or cheese trays or fun little things like that. So little patriotic picks, party picks, that's a little fun thing. You can also put those down into plants, and they look really cute in plants. This box is actually where I store all of my Scrabble letters, but it doubles as a really cool looking piece of decor in and of itself. It's got a really cool star down on the bottom, and I think stars in general are really cool as well. I've got a whole bunch of different stars that I found throughout the years, and they're just really fun to kind of put up. I use these at Christmas time as well, but then just really fun. Cool. I have a couple of these metal ones. I assume these are maybe for flag poles. I don't know. I see these all the time and I have no idea what they are. So if you know, that's one of those things I'd love if you could share. But like the white ones, sometimes they have like, yeah, the patterns, but you can put it on the front or the back. So depending on how you want to display it. This is another little wood one, not terribly old, but kind of fun. Anyway, stars are a great thing to use for your 4th of July decor. Let's see. I love vintage badminton and tennis rackets. I think that they're fun. You can do a variety of different things with them. And in collections, again, of red, white, and blue, I think they look particularly fun. So I've got a set of tennis rackets here that are red, white, and blue. So kind of fun. And if you just kind of have those setting in the corner of the room, or maybe by a fireplace or something like that, looks kind of fun and festive. You could hang them on a wall as well and get that red, white, and blue look going up above. I pulled another one that was really cool because it has the little like American eagle with the emblem on the front there. So that one could be a fun one to use as a decor item for 4th of July as well. And I do the same thing with red, white, and blue badminton rackets as well. Likewise, the little badminton birdies I think are really fun too. A couple years ago I found these giant ones, and they're really fun too to kind of put out, and has a fun 4th of July sort of look to them as well. Pillows make great decor items. Every now and then I find a really fun pillow. I'm always on the lookout for things that have the stripes and the stars as well, but this was a really cool, it looks like it was hand embroidered there with the eagle as well, so that was a good find that I'm able to use in my 4th of July decor. Music is another great thing, both sheet music as well as records and things again that have kind of a patriotic sort of look to them. So there's a sheet of music, or a music book rather, that has patriotic tunes in it, and just a nice record with an image there. I've also got some additional sheet music that I've found through the years, things that relate to different world wars. So the Sammys here. Let's see, this is a Boy Scout march with Uncle Sam. That's kind of interesting. I've seen this one a couple times, but it's kind of cool because it's got that blue color to it. So it's got the serviceman on the front. Here's another copy of the same song over there with different types of soldiers. Here's another war-related piece, and these buttons are marked US. I think that one's really kind of cool too. Again, so I think war-related, but looks really neat. Buy a Liberty Bond for the baby. I'll point out too that because the back was also printed in color, Sometimes you'll get really cool images. Maybe it's just blue and white on the back of one of these sheets, but that could be pretty in behind something that's red. It would really pop. And here's, we're going over, so another war-related one. So sheet music is a lot of fun to decorate with as well. And every now and then I'll find like these kind of educational things that have a patriotic themed image, or in this case, the kite itself has a patriotic look to it, so I think that's really cool. Decals and things that people would decoupage onto different things. I think these were really popular in not 1776 obviously, but 1976. And I think they kind of have a cool sort of look to them as well, so that you could actually decoupage onto something. That's really cool here, wouldn't it? Or just as a decor item to stick out and use in the background of something. Back to our red, white, and blue theme, books. So I think books in general, if you can find patriotic themed books, I'll show off a few of the ones that I found through the years. That's awesome, but you don't have to have something that's super fancy or 4th of July themed. You can actually just do clusters of books in red, white, and blue. So that's a few that I pulled off the shelf this morning to show how that would look really cute, just setting on a shelf or on a coffee table and give you a fun patriotic look. And here's a few of the other patriotic books that I found throughout the year. So this one's an American ABC. It's got the eagle on the front with some stars. I think that that is utterly precious. It's got some really cool illustrations inside as well through the history of the U.S. That one's a really pretty one, I think. So you could have it open to a page, or like I usually just have it in the background with that image kind of up front. I think it's really cool. Found one on the flag of the U.S. I like that one's really kind of neat and has interesting information in it about things. So again, it might be that you could find some pages that are fun to show, or just the front of it's cool. This one was the American Songbook, and it looks great kind of, again, because of the colors that are on it and the stars. It's kind of instant decor, so that makes a great piece as well. I love the old Better Homes and Gardens or Betty Crocker cookbooks, because sometimes those are red, white, and blue and look great as 4th of July decor also. Kind of continuing with red, white, and blue, I've got another thing I just found, an umbrella that's red. But I could see doing maybe a cluster of those with a red, white, and blue umbrella in the background. I think that would make a really neat little historical kind of vignette. Pennants. So red, white, and blue pennants would look really cool. Getting a collection of ones from every state, wouldn't that look awesome along a wall? If you're like me, I'm a little bit of a globe junkie, and obviously you can show the United States, so kind of pointing it to that, maybe putting stars or sparkles on there. You could turn a globe into something that is 4th of July themed as well. Games, I mentioned boxes earlier. Game boxes, puzzle boxes, I'll show off some of those. Those are really fun if you can get those in red, white, and blue. And I've got a couple games that I've also pulled out of my collection that were more patriotic themed. Here's a bingo one. It's got blue bingo cards, and I think bingo cards in general could be fun for 4th of July. So I've got some red and some blue there. So those would be kind of fun, either set out or turned into some crafts, which I will show off some of here in just a minute. And then a few other games that I found that were kind of US based. So this one's the Game of the States. I think any of the board games too that have like a map of the US would be great as decor for 4th of July, vintage or otherwise. I think that would look really cool. And I've got a collection of different games that do have the United States as part of the game board. Here is Men of Destiny. And things that are, again, kind of military themed, so Battleship or other games that have kind of a military theme. But I love these too just because they are red, white, and blue kind of theme. So using the board game, stacking them and putting them in places definitely has a fun 4th of July kind of look to it. Here, let me put these on the floor. I'm running out of places to put things. All right, let's see. I thought this is a great puzzle box. I love the fact that it even has kind of like the red, white, and blue theme going on the side of it. Another little cigar box. I will say Coca-Cola anything, like a tray like that with some little knickknacks in it. I can see like red, white, and blue vases in this one because it's actually got the partitions for the bottles. Or little knickknacks set up in there like this or this on a counter would look really cool, but just the fact that the logo is red, white, and blue, I guess it works for Pepsi too. So I found a few postcards recently. So there's a George Washington, For the Sake of Old Glory. That one looked like a wartime photo. A little Navy man on a boat there, some speed here, and then a flag. So kind of other things that I think make fun decor items that you wouldn't necessarily think of for 4th of July are things like fans. I've got a lot of old vintage fans that are not always in the greatest of shape, but I think you can do fun things like that. So you can clip little postcards onto them. Some of the bigger ones, I didn't pull out any of my big ones today. This one kind of has a blue color, so I thought it was kind of fun for 4th of July, but you can do lots of different things and they look kind of interesting mixed in with other things. Similarly, picnic baskets. I love my Redmond picnic baskets and I think those look cool stacked even with the simple vase or a stack of books on it. Makes a cute little holiday display for the 4th of July. And cameras are really fun to always stick around and put in little different vintage vignettes, so I pulled out some cameras to show off today as well. And then the last thing I wanted to do is show a couple of the assemblages that I've made recently with some of the ephemera that I have found. So I love bingo cards and love making little assemblages with bingo cards. So the things that I've used in addition to bingo cards, so some of them use flags, some of them use little toys or decorative items, stars, ribbons that I found, and the Scrabble tiles. So each of these, at least in this first set, will say USA. There's a little dolly on there with the vintage tinsels and things. There's a little soldier guy. He's got a little pin, so I've got him holding the American flag there with a pin. I found some really cool ribbons. Oftentimes I'll find those maybe on a plastic floral arrangement, so you can get the ribbons and use those. This one makes use of a cookie cutter and a hair bow, as well as a little vintage doll, and some a star from some jewelry and some other like little cake picks, so little silvery stars or glittery stars that I found from different things. This was a cute little star, and I used that fun elastic red, white, and blue ribbon. We'll call it a ribbon still, but was able to put some patriotic sheet music inside of that and put the ribbon around the outside, and that makes a really cute little object to sit on a counter, that kind of thing. Here's another one that says America, just with a doily in the back and hanging down, again using the Scrabble tiles. So that was a lot of fun. And I think I'm nearing the end. The only other things I have are kind of the things that are a little bit more obviously patriotic decor. So literally patriotic decor. So I'm able to find that every now and then. Because it's so light, when I buy by the pound at the Goodwill outlet, it's practically free. The patriotic kind of apparel items as well. So this scarf is something that I've thrifted, as well as pins. So every now and then I come across these old patriotic pins that you can put on a lapel, or I bet you could probably even put one on a scarf. So those are all of my patriotic decor item ideas to share today. And if you have more, please feel free to share as well. And I hope that you will choose to come back and take a look at future videos, as well as take a look at some of the past videos that we've posted. I'll put links to everything so you're able to get back and take a look at those, or visit us over at unearthedrelics.com. Thanks so much for joining us today, and thank you for your interest in learning more about holiday decor items for the 4th of July. Happy 4th and best wishes.